So we have always had to deal with schism, with sectarianism, with, I mean, look at the Qaramita, stealing the black stone and taking it away and slaughtering people on like crazy stuff. Like, and that's pretty consistent. The assassins, and that's pretty consistent throughout Islamic history. So we can't, and this was articulated in the panel, that we can't have this imagination that we're going to all just unite, and then that's never happened, pretty much, from at least the time of the Maqtal Uthman, when Uthman was assassinated onward. It's always been contentious. That being said, we do, I think, need to delineate different concentric circles, right? So there's inner circle, there's a larger circle, there's a larger circle, there's a larger circle. Imagine it, the example I gave is like a house, right? A house has many rooms, there's interior walls in the house. But the thickest wall is your exterior wall, right? That's the ummah, or that's what it has to be, is that we have different groups. We can talk about those. Some of those groups are political, right? Different manahij. Some of those groups are theological in nature. Some of those groups are something else, fiqh in nature, whatever. But at the end of the day, we need to understand properly, this is an issue of both, drilling down on the specifics of takfir and who is a Muslim and who's not a Muslim, but we have to understand properly where that boundary lies, of who's outside and who's inside. Even if we disagree with them, even if there's schism between us, and schism meaning literally that our communities don't integrate. You guys doing your thing over there, we don't really want to participate, we're doing our thing over here. But we can even tolerate that as long as we know that the thickest border is the border between someone that is a Muslim and a non-Muslim, that we're not going to sell each other out, right? That we can't agree on everything and we're not going to agree on everything, but that doesn't mean that we can't do anything together, we can't do anything in concert. And so we have to understand exactly what we mean when we talk about unity and what does it look like on the ground. I think that unity looks like exactly what Muawiyah and Ali, what Muawiyah responded to the Roman
when they were having the dispute.
When they're having their dispute, and he tried to come in between, and he said, "This is an affair between two brothers," and he threatened,
to send an army.
He threatened to send an army to Byzantium, right? So that's what we're talking about. That is the type of unity.
Is that a legit narration, by the way?
I would have to check off the top of my head.
Because I know that gets circulated a lot, and it is a good one to share for the subject.
I believe I read it in a Dhahabi, because most of my biographical data, I strictly try to just take it from a Dhahabi and his Siyar Alam al-Nubala, but I would have to verify. But even if it's not an authentic narration, that is the type of unity that we're talking about. That there's levels to it. There's levels to it. And unfortunately, we're plagued with this, I don't know if it's a reflex or whatever it is, of sectarianism that, I'll even say that it's a depoliticization. Because how is it depolitical? Because we're more concerned with being part of the right team than we are about getting the job done. I think that that's true. Mm-hmm. I think that whether it's a Salafi or a Neo-Trad Sufi or this group or that group or whatever, that many of us unfortunately would be happier about being part of the right team than having to reach a hand across the aisle to get something done. And we have to change that. Like it has to get to the point where it flips and yeah, it's like the Sufis and the Salafis are going to be, they're not going to convert each other. They're not going to eliminate each other. Always going to exist. Mm-hmm. Does it mean you can't do anything together? Go pick flowers together. Go distribute food to the poor together. Whatever, something. Mm-hmm. But we let any level of disagreement or schism mean that we don't do anything together. We'll do things with the non-Muslims before we do things with other 100%. Muslims we disagree with.
We're more, in so many cases, we're more invested in interfaith, but not intra.
Yeah, I've brought that up a lot, and I'm glad that you said that. Yeah, it's like I've said in other forums in the U.S., I believe in a total moratorium on interfaith.
Agreed.
Until we completely shore up the home team.
Yeah, 100%.